It's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. And before I dive into this video a little bit more, I want to make sure you've watched some of my previous videos because I'll be building upon the content in there. And/or this content is probably mostly in my phase 1 course. If you're interested in taking a course and getting CE credits, you can go to straightsmilesolutions.com and go to classes, and you'll see there's a phase 1 course which has 13 CE units. It's at the moment of recording, it's $44 per CE unit, very affordable. And you have a whole year to finish your CE and is AGD PACE certified. Anyways, so the topic is this a skeletal asymmetry or a CRCO shift? How to tell? And I actually, like I said, I have a lot of videos. I'm going to name the videos for you just so you know which ones I want you to listen to. So it's totally fine if you open a new tab, put this video on pause and listen to the ones I'm going to recommend first. So if you put the keyword in, shift in my channel, Straightsmile Solutions, you will see some videos. So if you want to know how to diagnose a shift, how to tell if there's a shift, I have a video called How to Diagnose a CRCO Functional Shift. It's me, you can see it, I'm in an orange shirt. That's a good one if you don't know how to set someone back to see if there's a shift. I also have some videos, some other ones, signs that there's a CRCO shift in mixed dentition, how to deal with shifts in anterior crossbite cases, what is the CRCO shift triad? So basically we go over this a little bit more, these 3 things that you can tell in mixed dentition. What are the 3 things? We've got your facial asymmetry at rest, your unilateral class 2 or asymmetry on one side, like one side will be class 1, one side will be class 2, and the midline's off. That's the kind of high, hallmark signs of COCR shift, especially in mixed dentition. I have some videos about not waiting to treat COCR shifts, how to recognize them, anterior shifts versus lateral shifts, midlines and shifts. Oh, so much content. So make sure you watch all those videos. Another video that's good is this one on the right. You'll probably recognize these photos. I clipped them out of the videos. It's about CANTs. So you can put in the keyword CANT, C-A-N-T, and that one is called CANTs and Asymmetries, How to Diagnose and Treat a PA-CEF. And a lot of you guys get confused by PA-CEFs. PA-CEF stands for Posterior Anterior Ceph. It's basically a ceph that's taken 90 degrees. So instead of being a lateral ceph, you just turn the patient facing forward. And you're able to tell pretty quickly if there's a skeletal CANT or not. But again, you want to make sure that you got rid of the shift and then you set the patient back when you took the thing. So if there's a CRCO shift, you got to get rid of that first and then take the x-ray, okay? If you don't see a shift, then you can go ahead and take that PA-CEF. My suggestion is it's better if you can take that x-ray, even better if you have a 3D x-ray, and send it to a company that can read it. Now in the United States, we tend to use beam readers or 3DDX. But I'm sure there's radiologist companies that are virtual, that are all over the world, that can do it. Or if you have a local dental radiologist, sometimes an OMFS can read it as well. If they're used to jaw surgery cases, they can tell you if there's a skeletal asymmetry. This is why this is important, because the longer a CRCO shift occurs, where everything is harmonious, we're just hitting an interference and sliding over, hitting interference and sliding over all day long, all night long, and maybe we don't get rid of that with an expander or braces or something like that. You can actually stimulate the jaw to grow asymmetrically. Once the jaw has grown asymmetrically, like you can kind of see here, well, then we can't fix it. So they're always going to be asymmetric. So unless you do jaw surgery, it can't just be braces or Invisalign alone to make it turn good. You need to know if your patient has a shift, and if so, we need to diagnose that there's a shift. Or if it's a skeletal issue, if the bones have grown that way wrong. Bones grew that way, it's not going to be looking great. I mean, you can still do braces or Invisalign, but it's not going to be even, and the midlines aren't going to be on, and your AP isn't going to be symmetrical, and the face might not look symmetrical. But you need to let your patient know this ahead of time, because they're going to be awfully mad if you didn't tell them about that, and then at the end you're like, why are things all imbalanced? And then we take the x-ray, oops, there was a skeletal disharmony. You have to mention at the beginning. And if you don't have that type of technology, or if it costs money, you can always mention it and say, I'm not sure if there is a skeletal disharmony, that the bones have grown asymmetrically, or if it's just a slide around thing. I'm not sure. You know, we can try doing some braces or aligners or some expansion first and see if the shift goes away. Or if you really want to know now, we can pay a little extra funds. You know, I'll have to send you to a private center to get it done and I'll have to pay someone to read it. You know, price point is usually a couple hundred for each. If you don't have the technology in your office, it might be a few $100s US to get that answer, but there's a lot of parents who would like to pay that upfront to get that answer. Certainly if you have that answer upfront, and the older the patient is, the more likely it's set in the bones, you know? It's great to have that answer because that might change their treatment plan. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to not tell them about it or not really mention it and say, oh, it's all gonna be good when we do braces or Invisalign, and then it doesn't go away, and then you get to the end and they're mad and they're asking for a refund, or worse, they're contacting the insurance company or the dental board. It happens. And all the time. I mean, a lot of times orthodontists miss this too. I mean, I've gotten pretty good at it, at recognizing it, even just from photos. And this is just something that just comes with experience. So that's why I really want to hammer down in y'all's heads that if you see facial asymmetry at rest, that means not a smiling photo, just a resting photo, you know, when they're biting down, a unilateral malocclusion, asymmetry, one side class 2, one side class 3, one side class 1, one side class 2, you know, and midlines off, in your head, bing, 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 something might be wrong. It's either a shift or a bone problem. Let's find the answer before we make a treatment plan. So that's all I wanted to just, circle up to make sure you guys got it, because I hate to see anyone getting upset. All right, thanks so much.